For listening. This is the chart of a friend of mine that I would call Tad. And she doesn't have the exact time of her birth. So we're going to have to do a little rectification. And she gave me a little bit of information about her early life. Now, what I want to show you here is that I have set the birth time at 8 a.m. All right, 8 a.m. And that is because this will put the first 4 years of her life in the period of K2. Now, very often, K2, of course, is uh, it's not really a planet, but it is considered by the sages, Vedic sages, to be an important period, and it actually is a mathematical point, but it is regarded as affecting our lives. So now this period of K2 is usually one of it's a childhood. If it occurs later in life, then usually the person uh, regresses to an earlier childish pattern. But in any case, she was actually given up for adoption at the age of 4. And another reason why I put this at 8 o'clock in the morning is because it also puts the moon at 5 degrees and 33 seconds, which is between what we call the second pada of Leo. Okay, the second pada of Leo is actually has certain qualities and certain characteristics, and we can make a determination about that particular personality according to uh, their uh, according to where. Oh, here we go. Right here, between 3 degrees and 20 and 6 degrees and 40 minutes. Okay, of some notoriety. And when her mother abandoned her and her brother's uh, when she was 4, it was written up in a newspaper. So I've taken that as one of the indications that this may very well be an approximately good um, time to put for her birth time. Okay, and she has some knowledge of bad things. So she also has a history of some abuse in her um, in her chart as well. Now, getting back to her chart, I just wanted to indicate here that there is some other things about this chart. Very importantly, this particular client has an illness called dyslexia. Now, dyslexia usually indicates that the person has difficulty reading from left to right, from left to right. Okay, now if we look here in the chart, we see that the planet Mercury and Sun are within a few degrees. Okay, within a few degrees and a few minutes of each other. Now, this condition is called combust. And what that does is that the planet Sun, it burns out the energy of Mercury. The planet Mercury is a very important planet for uh, the client's ability to feel calm and peaceful. It also has a lot of neurological implications. And most importantly, it is the planet of communications, as we all know, Mercury. So in this case, we definitely want to recommend for Tad that she get a nice emerald. Okay, there definitely should be a flawless emerald. Okay, very importantly. Now let's take a look at a couple of other things about her chart. Okay, she is 47 years old, and of course, during this period, during this period of 48 years old, during this period of time between the ages of 42 and 48 actually, is when the planet Rahu is pretty much pushing the person into displaying, into finding out what their evolutionary potential is. All right. Now, if we look at her chart, we can see that Rahu is over here in Virgo. Okay. Now, it's not very well placed there. Okay. It is actually exalted in Gemini. Okay. However, it's not badly placed. Not badly placed. Again, Rahu does take on the qualities of the significator or the ruler of that house, which in this case will be Mercury. Okay, so I would say here that in her evolutionary period, she will be doing a lot of communicating. Now, if we look at the, this is her Vimsatari Dasa progression chart, okay, which is the cycle that she is going through in her life in order for her to fulfill her mission in life, then we can see that she just started a major Rahu period as well. Okay, so Rahu is very, very important in her life. Okay, and of course Rahu has a period of 18 years. Now, very often a person will experience some depression during this period because they can find it very perplexing uh, to actually find out what it is that they are supposed to be doing. It could be a very complicated matter. All right. But we can see here that she has some very nicely placed charts, planets. Jupiter is nicely placed. Saturn is nicely placed, although Saturn is uh, aspecting the Sun, which will give some sickness. Okay, possibly some diabetes here. Okay, that we want to be concerned about. Venus is nicely placed. Okay, and of course these would indicate art, and Mars is exalted in her chart in Capricorn, so it is going to be very important for her, and it is in her 10th chart, 10th house, which would indicate that she would have a lot of management skills. Okay, and of course, Moon in Leo, again, management skills that she will have. Now, this chart isn't in exactly Kalapurusa yoga, as I have mentioned in other of my readings, but with she has only the planet Rahu outside of the axis of Rahu and Ketu. Okay, but we don't count the ascendant here. So a slightly modified Kalapurusa yoga, which may indicate that there is a possibility that she may be slightly bipolar. All right. So again, I want to just recommend that she wear an emerald. Okay, and also let's just take a quick look here at her divisional chart. Okay, medical astrologers would like to look at this particular element here. This is called the Dwadasamsa. And we can see here in this chart that Saturn again is over here. This is where we want to look for any kind of perhaps illnesses and so forth. But don't really see anything horrible here. Okay. But again, I would say that the main problem would be the in the speech. So I will just recommend it, for her the flawless emerald. Okay, thank you.